I'm worried about leaving my baby.
If you're worrying about returning to work and leaving your baby, what you're feeling is completely normal, and there are practical things you can do to make the transition easier. Firstly, find a childcare solution that meets your family's needs, whether that's a childminder, nursery, a partner, family or a combination. And once you're reassured that your baby will be happy, you will find it much easier to leave them. Before you go back, make use of settling in days with nursery or childminder and start leaving your baby with family members for short periods to begin with. If you're feeling emotional about leaving them, this is completely normal, and it may help to think about the social and developmental benefits your baby will get from spending time with others. If you're planning to continue breastfeeding when you go back to work, watch the Baby Buddy film on breastfeeding and returning to work for tips to help manage this as smoothly as possible.
What if I have to return early or want to take more time off?
When you come back from your maternity leave, or if you need to come back early from your maternity leave, then you must give your employer 8 weeks' notice. If you want to take a bit more time off, then one of the things that you might want to do is use your annual leave. That's accrued during your maternity leave, and your employer must allow you to carry over 28 days of leave. If you don't want to go back to your job at the end of your maternity leave, you will need to resign. Do have a look at your employer's rules and policies about this, because it may have an impact on the enhanced maternity pay you may have received.
Regardless of when you go back to work, having a plan in place can really help you to relax and enjoy the time off that you have. Mums can see returning to work as the end of a special time and may feel a sadness and a sense of loss, especially if you're unable to have as much time off as you'd ideally like. But it can really help to look at things differently and see this as the beginning of a new phase rather than an ending. You will still be the most important person in your baby's life, and some mums find that they enjoy their time together with their baby more when they're able to set boundaries around their time at work and at home.
How will I juggle the demands of work and home life?
Juggling work and home life can be a challenge, but there are some simple things you can do to make life feel more manageable. Firstly, discuss with your partner, friends and family to see what they can do so that the onus isn't just on you. At work, set clear boundaries around your working hours and stick to them. Some mums benefit from exploring assertiveness skills when speaking to employers and colleagues, such as learning to say no, negotiating skills, and giving themselves time and space to think before committing to tasks. At home, you could use the 4Ds to make your routine and commitments feel more manageable. That's looking at what can you do, what can you ditch, what can you defer until later, and what can you delegate to someone else. Meal planning and preparation can take a lot of time, so think about how you can make things easier by doing online shops, planning monthly menus, batch cooking and freezing, or asking family members to help. Try to factor in time to rest and recharge, as this can help you cope better with the demands of life as a working parent.
You may want to talk to your employer about things that can make your life more manageable. These might include flexible working, for example, or a phased return to work, or you might be entitled to reasonable adjustments. The kind of flexibility that may be available to you will entirely depend on the type of work that you do and also on your employer. Many employers are happy to negotiate flexible terms, and these are all things that you can ask for. However, you don't have a right to change your hours, but you do have the right to request flexible working. Depending on your relationship with your employer, you might want to have these conversations before you go back, but you can certainly have them when you go back. One of the things that you might want to think about is shared parental leave, and this is when you share your leave and your pay with your partner. If you want to have a look at the Working Families website, there'll be lots of information on there which explains exactly what shared parental leave is and how it might be useful for you.
I'm worried I'll lose my confidence at work after being off.
We know that it's very common for new mums to experience low self-confidence when they return to work, and talking to other parents can help you to know you're not alone. Returning to work may take some adjustment, so it's really important to allow yourself that time.
If you're worried about a lack of confidence when you come back to work after your maternity leave, you might want to think about creating a back to work plan. And there are some templates on the Working Families website which will help you consider all of the things that you need to think about when you come back to work. Talk your plan through with your partner, with your friends, perhaps with your colleagues, and certainly talk to your employer about it. Many employers really want to help you ease that transition back into work. If you are struggling with your mental health, Get help as soon as you possibly can from your GP. We know that 1 in 10 mums experience postnatal depression, so it's really important to get as much help as you can as soon as possible.
What if I need to take time off to look after my baby?
Time off for dependents gives you the right to be able to take a reasonable amount of unpaid time off to cover children's illnesses or appointments. And if you use this statutory right, this shouldn't be held against you by your employer.
Adjusting to life as a working mum and getting support.
For some mums, maternity leave may not have gone as planned. Perhaps baby was born preterm, or there may have been some physical or mental health struggles. This can all impact how you feel about returning to work and the time and support you might need to adjust. It can help to remember that whatever decisions are made, nothing is forever and it's possible to make changes. It can be useful to have regular check-ins with yourself, your partner, family, friends and your workplace to address issues as they arise. You might find it useful to try the Mentor Mums organisation. They match up mums with similar professions so that mums who've returned to work can share their tips. It may take time to find the right balance for you and your family, so remember to be kind to yourself and celebrate all the achievements, no matter how small.
For more information about your rights when returning to work after maternity leave, do have a look at the Working Families websites, and there are other websites available. And of course, there's lots of information in the Baby Buddy app.
If you're feeling overwhelmed or unable to cope, speak to your GP or contact a confidential advice service, such as those listed on screen.